Can you feel that gnawing sense of urgency, that almost desperate craving for a decisive move as the clock ticks relentlessly towards the NFL trade deadline? Because right now, for the San Francisco 49ers, a team that just stumbled in a baffling, frustrating loss to the Houston Texans, the question isn't just about winning games. It's about defining their very identity. Are they buyers ready to push all their chips to the center of the table for a Super Bowl run? Are they sellers, acknowledging a season that hasn't quite met expectations, perhaps even a slight regression? Or are they simply going to stand pat, paralyzed by indecision, watching the league's most frenetic trade period in history unfold around them? The answer to that question, coming before 1 p.m. Pacific on November 4th, will dictate the trajectory of this storied franchise. And for a fan base that demands excellence, that hungers for another Lombardi, the stakes have never felt higher. This year, the NFL landscape is a fascinating tapestry of parity. There isn't one truly dominant, unassailable team, no undisputed juggernaut that casts an insurmountable shadow over the rest. This unique competitive balance means the upcoming trade deadline is poised to be an absolute frenzy, a whirlwind of activity unlike any we've seen in recent memory. Teams across the league, from unexpected contenders to perennial powerhouses, see a legitimate pathway to the playoffs, perhaps even a coveted championship ring. And that perception, that tantalizing possibility, fuels aggressive action, a willingness to make bold moves. For the 49ers, a team with a recent history of deep playoff runs and a roster brimming with high-end talent, this moment presents a profound strategic crossroads. The path they choose will not only impact their immediate fortunes, but could also shape the long-term health and competitive window of the organization. The debate among football minds often falls into two distinct camps. On one side, you have the draftniks, who preach the gospel of retaining draft picks at all costs, safeguarding future assets, and building exclusively through the draft. On the other, the home-run hitters, who advocate for acquiring the best available talent regardless of the price to maximize the current competitive window, to go all in for glory. My own philosophy, however, carves a path directly between these two extremes. I believe in being a discerning buyer, focusing exclusively on acquiring long-term pieces or players you fully intend to re-sign. This isn't about rental players, the one-and-done mercenaries who provide a temporary boost. It's about strategic additions that fill critical skill set deficiencies on the roster, players who can become integral parts of the team for years to come. And crucially, it's about making smart, calculated moves that enhance the team without mortgaging the entire future, without sacrificing the long-term health of the franchise. The 49ers, with their current roster composition and championship aspirations, absolutely should be buyers, but they must be incredibly judicious and intelligent in their approach. To understand the 49ers' potential strategy, it's essential to look at their past. If NBC Sports Bay Area's Matt Mayako is correct in his assertion that head coach Kyle Shanahan is in this for the long haul, then his historical moves serve as a powerful guide. Shanahan's most successful and arguably most audacious trade involved surrendering a significant haul of draft picks, though notably no first-rounders, for the electrifying Christian McCaffrey. That move transformed their offense, proving that Shanahan is willing to pay a premium for the right player, a player who perfectly fits his scheme and elevates the entire team to a new level. This precedent suggests that General Manager John Lynch and Shanahan will once again be open to making a splash, provided the player aligns with their vision and addresses a critical, undeniable need. Let's dive into the specific areas where the 49ers could look to bolster their roster, starting with the ever-crucial edge rushers. The ability to consistently pressure opposing quarterbacks is a cornerstone of any elite defense, the engine that drives disruption and creates turnovers. And while the 49ers have talent here, adding another game record could elevate them to an entirely different level, especially after the devastating loss of Nick Bosa. Trey Hendrickson of the Cincinnati Bengals is a name that has been whispered as a perfect fit for the Niners' defense. His relentless motor, powerful rush, and ability to disrupt plays in the backfield would be a dream addition. However, the Bengals are not expected to move him yet, as they are also in a competitive window. The intriguing detail here is his relatively cheap ownership in terms of contract, which could make them susceptible to a last-minute, over-the-top offer. Philadelphia, another team with Super Bowl aspirations, might be willing to pay that exorbitant price, potentially driving up the market and making him too expensive for San Francisco. Then there's Kayvon Thibodeaux from the New York Giants. Young, productive, and under contract through 2026, he represents a long-term solution with immense upside, a player who could be a cornerstone for years. The sticking point, as always, is the asking price. Like the Bengals, the Giants would likely need to be overpaid significantly to even consider moving such a foundational piece. This probably takes Thibodeaux out of the 49ers' realistic reach, as they are unlikely to engage in a bidding war for a player who would command such a steep premium, especially given their limited draft capital. Miami could emerge as a more reasonable trade partner, but that hinges on whether Hendrickson and Thibodeaux remain unavailable. If they do, the entire league will be eyeing Miami's stable of edge rushers. The 49ers have been in this position before, reportedly outbid for both Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips in previous trade discussions. This history suggests they might be hesitant to engage in another high-stakes negotiation with the Dolphins, especially if the price is driven up by league-wide demand. Finally, the New York Jets, a team with several intriguing pieces, could be a prime target. John Lynch is rumored to have his eye on Jermaine Johnson as an edge rusher, a young, talented player who could provide a significant boost. Other names mentioned include Kingsley Enagbare from Green Bay, or even a reunion with Arden Key, currently with Tennessee, who previously played for the 49ers and knows the system. What to do? Well, the Miami edge rushers might be the preferred, more impactful options. The most realistic acquisition for the 49ers appears to be Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. He fits the long-term vision as a potential third edge rusher, providing depth and rotational impact. Arden Key would be a solid second option, offering familiarity and a proven ability to contribute. I anticipate a deal will be struck for an edge rusher, but it might be a smaller, more calculated move rather than a blockbuster. Moving to the interior of the defensive line, defensive tackle is another area where the 49ers could seek an upgrade. Jeffrey Simmons of Tennessee has been definitively declared unavailable, taking him off the board. However, the situation with Quinnen Williams of the New York Jets is far more intriguing. Williams has reportedly demanded a trade, and the 49ers are rumored to have already made inquiries about his availability. The whispers suggest a second-round pick might be the asking price. Given the 49ers' willingness to consider significant capital for an edge rusher like Hendrickson, it's not a stretch to imagine them paying a second-rounder for a player of Williams' caliber, especially one who had immense success under current 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh during their time together in New York. The Jets might hesitate to part with such a dominant player, but a second-round pick could be a tempting offer for a team that might be looking to retool. What to do? I would aggressively pursue Quinnen Williams. His fit with Saleh's system is undeniable, and his ability to collapse the pocket from the interior would be transformative for the 49ers defense. While it will be difficult for the Jets to let him go, a strong offer could sway them. I would be genuinely surprised if the 49ers don't make a serious push for him. Next, let's consider linebacker, specifically targeting players who excel in pass coverage, a skill set that is noticeably lacking on the current 49ers roster. Another Jet, Quincy Williams, is rumored to be available, and he is an absolute perfect fit. He's excellent in pass coverage, strong against the run, and already knows the system from his time with Saleh. Linebackers as complete as Williams are a rare commodity and are almost never found in the draft. If I were the 49ers, I would pursue him aggressively. He represents a long-term option with a desperately needed skill set. Will it happen? It's improbable given the Jets' potential reluctance to part with two key defensive players. Logan Wilson of Cincinnati is another pass coverage linebacker mentioned in trade rumors. Both Williams and Wilson are 29 years old, offering proven veteran talent. Christian Harris of Houston is also reportedly on the block. He's younger and fits the 49ers shoot-the-gap speed linebacker style, but he has known issues in coverage, which is precisely the area the 49ers need to address. What to do? Quincy Williams and Logan Wilson would both fill a crucial void. The 49ers simply do not have a linebacker with elite pass coverage skills on their roster. If a compensatory pick could be part of the solution, I would absolutely take the initiative. Williams is the superior talent and the ideal target. Finally, let's turn our attention to wide receiver. Teams are reportedly inquiring about Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints, and the 49ers are rumored to be among those making calls. Olave's skilled route running and ability to create separation would be a fantastic addition to the 49ers offense, providing another dynamic weapon for Brock Purdy. However, ESPN gives him only a 20% chance of being traded, indicating New Orleans is likely to hold onto their young star. A faster, more likely candidate from the Saints to be moved might be Rashid Shaheed. What to do? Olave is the obvious choice for his talent and fit, but that's precisely why New Orleans will likely keep him. Shaheed will be popular, but I believe the 49ers would only truly pursue Olave as a receiver, as he represents the kind of game-changing talent they need. So, what's the most likely outcome as the deadline approaches? And what should the 49ers do? My deadline guess is that the 49ers will acquire Jermaine Johnson or Arden Key as an edge rusher with a remote outside chance of landing Jalen Phillips or Bradley Chubb if the market shifts dramatically. I don't foresee any other major moves. This would be a cautious yet sensible approach to bolster a key position. However, what I would do is far more aggressive and targeted. I would push hard for Quinnen Williams, Quincy Williams, and Arden Key. If you can make all three of those happen, you fundamentally transform your defense, turning a unit that's been battered by injuries into a truly dominant force once again. I would also absolutely love to acquire Chris Olave, but as mentioned, that seems unlikely. The core philosophy here is to acquire proven talents with the specific skill sets that are currently missing from a roster. Don't cling to draft picks when they so often fail to pan out. Keep your first-round pick, but after that, it's fair game. Ultimately, Kyle Shanahan, with his history and the current state of the team, will likely prioritize proven talent over speculative draft picks. The core of this 49ers team, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, even injured, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey, is undeniably elite, but they are not getting any younger. This core is in its prime, but it's also on the cusp of decline. Shanahan knows this window is precious and finite. He would rather take his chances with this still, vibrant core, making strategic additions to maximize their potential, than embark on a full-scale rebuild. The time to win is now, and the trade deadline offers the final critical opportunity to solidify that championship pursuit. The question is, will the 49ers seize it with the boldness it demands? What do you think of the 49ers' trade deadline strategy? Are they being too cautious, or is a targeted approach the right move? Which players do you think they absolutely must acquire to keep their Super Bowl dreams alive? Let us know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. And if you're as passionate about the 49ers as we are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest breaking news and in-depth analysis. This is where the championship story truly begins to unfold. Considering the 49ers' history of making bold moves, do you believe they will ultimately surprise us with a bigger trade than currently anticipated?